Why are people stupid? It's the question we've been asking ourselves since the beginning of time, and it's the question that we will never fully have an answer to. Merriam-Webster defines the word stupid as slow of mind or lacking intelligence or reason. In this video, I'd like to explore some extremely stupid things that people either do or participate in, and compare them to the direct definition of the word. Number 1. It is of general consensus within the scientific community that about 4.5 billion years ago, when the solar system settled into its current layout, Earth formed when the force of gravity pulled a mass of swirling gas and dust together to form a spinning globe of rock, minerals, and water. But apparently, there is a pretty large group of people who honestly believe that the Earth is indeed flat, with a large wall of ice that surrounds the southern edge. And if you travel beyond this edge, I guess you just fall off. Oh, and the space and all the stars that we see in the night sky? Those are only a few thousand miles away. So where did such an outrageous idea come from? In the latter part of the 1800s, an inventor named Samuel Rowbotham would attempt to measure a lack of curvature of the Earth in the long, straight drainage ditches of the Bedford Levels in England. With these experiments, he would somehow conclude that the Earth is indeed flat, and not the globe that we know it is. In the United States, Rowbotham's ideas were taken up by the Christian Catholic Apostolic Church and promoted widely on their radio station. His work in the United States was then continued by William Carpenter. Carpenter, a printer originally from Greenwich, England, and supporter of Rowbotham, published Theoretical Astronomy Examined and Exposed, proving the Earth is not a globe in 8 parts. He later immigrated to Baltimore, where he would publish 100 proofs the Earth is not a globe in the year 1885. 71 years later, people from, I'm guessing, somewhere in this area, founded the Flat Earth Society, and over the years have somehow convinced thousands of people that these beliefs are factual. And I'm not really going to dig into this one anymore. I mean, if you were able to complete grade school, then you're smart enough to know that to believe this takes a special level of stupid. Number 2. On July 16th, 1969, the United States of America strapped 3 astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, to a massive Saturn V rocket and shot them at the moon. 4 days later, on July 20th, Neil and Buzz climbed into the LM-5 and descended to the lunar surface. Once they landed, they stuck a flag in the ground and walked around for a couple hours picking up rocks. And this astonishing event was by no means unique. It happened 5 more times over the next 3 years, and a total of 12 men would not only dip their toes in the Martian soil, but play golf and drive a dune buggy. I mean, these were, and still are, some of the most amazing feats of science and engineering to ever happen. But there are a group of people who believe this never happened, and that NASA paid Stanley Kubrick to film the whole thing on some massive moon set, and that the entire Apollo program never happened either. And I thought Avatar was the most expensive movie ever made. I wonder if they'll get Christopher Nolan to film the Mars missions. But honestly, what's more probable? That we sent some rockets to the moon a few times, and that 12 people got out and walked on it? Or that thousands of people have been covering up some massive international conspiracy for 52 years, and it just never got out? And if you believe the latter, then I'm sorry. Number 3. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was... Hold up. This one might be a bit sensitive to some people, but here we go. Today, it is of general belief that about 13.7 billion years ago, the universe as we know it was created in a massive explosion called the Big Bang, that not only created the majority of matter, but the physical laws that govern our ever-expanding cosmos. And somewhere in that infinite expanse of galaxies and nebulas is a 4.5 billion year old insignificant little planet called Earth. And for about the last 2 to 6 million years, this planet has been populated by a species of bald apes called humans. Religion has been a factor in the human experience throughout history, from prehistoric to modern times, but a large portion of the human religious experience predates written history. And written history is only 5,000 years old. A lack of written records results in most of the knowledge of prehistoric religion being derived from archaeological records and other indirect sources, and most prehistoric religion is subject to continued debate. But I refuse to seriously debate anyone who truly believes in these fantastical, outrageous, and made-up stories that people have created over history. I do think that today there are a lot more people who do acknowledge these stories more as tales of fiction and lessons than as fact. But who knows, maybe John Smith did talk to God in a hat after he was ejaculated from a volcano, while Moses saved all the animals from Poseidon, while Zeus was just chucking lightning bolts at people. And I'm not here to just bash on religion or religious people. People have the right to believe in whatever they choose. Most religions generally promote the same good ideas, and it's obviously something that helps and is important for billions of people around the world. And just because something is stupid, it doesn't always mean it's bad. Can I get an amen? Number 4. Millions of years ago, on the continent of Africa, a species of human-like hominids began to emerge and evolve into the nomadic Homo sapiens we are today. It wasn't until about 70 to 100,000 years ago that Homo sapiens began migrating from the African continent and populating parts of Europe and Asia, and would eventually reach the Australian continent in canoes sometime between 35,000 and 65,000 years ago. From that time to now, humans would develop many forms of language, worship, religion, and in some cases, physical traits that would help them to better survive the environments in which they settled. Examples of this are the Bajau people of the Philippines. They are able to dive down to depths more than 230 feet, can stay submerged 60 feet underwater for several minutes, and usually spend a total of around 5 hours a day underwater. Or the Kenyan tribe known as I'm going to butcher this, Kalenjin, who dominate the world of long-distance running. Scientists believe this could be due to a larger lung capacity developed from living at high altitude, coupled with their food and upbringing, made them natural runners. I think a main example would be skin color. The evolution of skin color is believed to have helped humans adapt to various environments around the world and survive from one generation to the next. Early ancestors living in high ultraviolet light regions near the equator developed a dark skin tone to maintain their folate levels, while early ancestors living in low ultraviolet light regions away from the equator developed a fair skin tone to maintain their vitamin D levels. Today, each region is more diverse. With the help of modern science and vitamin supplements, we are better equipped to live in environments that may not be ideal for our skin tone. But early in our history, these may be some factors that led to some people and countries to develop racisms and concepts of a master race. These primitive and barbaric beliefs have been the cause of millions of deaths and even the attempted genocide of some races. And anyone alive today who actively participates in these cruel and inhuman activities has not only graduated beyond stupid, but should be punished by something equally as archaic as their beliefs. A public stoning comes to mind. I mean that, or a sarlacc pit. But thanks for watching, and I hope I've been able to shed some light on just a few of the things that help define people as stupid. If you disagree, or think there is something else that should have been in this video, then please comment below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like it in the future, then leave a like and hit the subscribe and bell icons so you don't miss out on any content in the future. And I'll see you in the next one.